So now a couple of things here. One, which is the diet, okay? The limited diet is probably going to contribute to this because like, oh, you know what? If I don't eat my regular meal, that's okay. Why? Because I can snack later. I like snacks better anyways. So why should I eat a full, healthy lunch and dinner when I have all this availability of snacks after? So that's the first thing that you have to work on is getting an expanded repertoire of foods that he'll eat more during the lunch and the dinner time and expand that. And for snacks, start restricting the snacks. I mean, like if you need to put someplace locked, put it someplace locked, but don't have the child have free access to those things because at the end of the day, guess what he's going to do? He's just going to go, not eat lunch, not eat dinner, and go after the snacks. Then you might be able to then, if you're able to restrict it, there are a couple of things that'll happen, right? One, he's more hungry. Why? Because he doesn't have all these snacks filling up his stomach. And when you're more hungry, guess what's going to happen? Foods that you didn't like before suddenly seem much more interesting to you. Things actually taste better. Okay, so the things that he might dislike before, he might actually find some enjoyment in because he's hungry and wants to eat. All right, so now the other thing over the long term you can do is start to tie his snacks into how much he eats. All right, so if you eat all your meal, you have free access to snacks. However, you eat this amount of meal, you only get this very limited set of snacks. But you have to be able to be good about controlling the snacks, okay? Meaning that the child outside of your awareness can't go and get it easily. Now, I'm not sure if I told this story before or not, but I figured, why not? I'll tell it again. It's worth a tell. So I had a client that I worked with, and he ate only eggs. I mean, only eggs. And parents would have to plan to make sure that they take eggs with them wherever they went because that's the only thing he would eat. So what I had parents do on a regular basis was choose a couple of easy, small portions of foods that they would want him to eat over the long term. So we decided on corn and peas. For breakfast and dinner, what parents would do is give him one small kernel of corn or one pea. And he had to eat that to get his regular meal of egg. So the first several times was a big battle because, of course, he didn't want to eat the corn, he didn't want to eat the pea. But then he learned, like, okay, this is just something I have to do. Let me get that kernel, put it in, eat, then I can get my eggs. The child got less and less resistant to eating this one pea or this one corn. And so as he got less and less resistant, then we start to increase the portion size. So instead of just one, now he has to add two, and then later on 3 and 4, and then a bunch of them. And so we got to the portion size. I was like, okay, this is a good portion size for this. And then we started to change up the things that we would have him eat. So it was no longer just corn or no longer just peas, but it'd be other vegetables, other items that he didn't necessarily like, but he had to eat those in order to get his eggs. So what we did was we slowly grew portions of this other foods, okay? Until we actually gave him a full meal before he could get his eggs. And sometimes he gets so full from eating the meal that he didn't want the eggs anymore. And then we faded the eggs away so that then he was just eating whatever the family was eating. What if you're like, okay, we're gonna have such a hard time keeping his hands off snacks? What I say is stop buying them.